check out. I forgot about Facebook. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if they fixed it. Yep. Finally. Am I watching? I don't know. You just watch this. Okay. Yeah, I think Facebook made a change. And they keep making changes all the time. Everything I was putting on there was private. I didn't even notice it. It looked like it was public to me. Until like 3 or 4 months, I finally realized that those are all private. Jeez. So anyway. Before we go into the subject matter, yeah, I had to work last night. I had to get up early, so it's like I'm getting old. Trying to change my routine, I guess. Besides that, YouTube has been burying my channel. Before I go into the clone thing, yeah, it's almost, I probably mentioned this, mentioned everything in the past, but yeah, it's like the human race is, depending on where you are, some are slightly above the animal food chain, mentality-wise, like, you have the apes, and then you have humans. It's just like there's a line there. It's okay. We're human apes, I guess, or something. They certainly do act it. Some do. And like they haven't really evolved into much of anything. You get up, you go to work, and you have a car, But, almost like they're still very primitive in their existence. I think some of you noticed that. That's why I have all these alien experiences, and you go off to crazy land, and you get more evolved there. And you bring that back. Say, hey, okay, right now I'm crazy, but now you can't get along with the locals. They're not part of their realm, and you see how stupid they are here. Why they keep getting pulled into all these religions and everything. It's just the human race here. They're just haven't quite evolved out of that. Something to be proud of, right? It's just it's very, there's so many. It's not just religion, it's spiritual, brainwashing, it's all the other groups, so much of it. They just get pulled into it. They can't get themselves out there. They're fine there too. They've never been better, especially in the so-called religious war we're going through. I don't know about whatever. Whatever. Is the end of times? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. I don't know if this is biblical. I don't know. It's different. Something leaked about Israel, like, forced the U.S. into this. They could have did that past 40 years. So, I don't buy that. When I tapped into it, I felt like there's more going on. They're not obviously revealing everything, but, on the surface it might look that way, but, come on, it's Israel. They're not that, they've been doing stuff, back and forth all the time. I don't know, I just don't buy it. But who cares? It doesn't matter. Nothing matters here. The place is just a big comedy show anyway, so it's a bad movie. Whatever. It just gives people something to yell about. They're first they're Republican, now they're going to be Democrat. God, whatever, man. This is a comedy show. You can't take this place seriously. So yeah, it goes into the clone stuff. I'm not going to show it here. Jim Carrey changed his looks. He looks like a woman now. He looks weird. And of course, Bill Gates looks like a woman too. But either way, it's not about him. Yeah, Oprah Winfrey now it's like a totally different person. And then you can go into Dave Chappelle. For me, Dave Chappelle was the first one. I did a video about this ages ago. I remember I did it at a park. I didn't go into too much detail on it because I don't know. It's been accepted into reality, so it's like you say anything. But Dave Chappelle looks very cloney. He looks like a clone. I mean, not sound like him, but it doesn't look like him. And some kind of, they scared the daylights out, they switched him out. We'll never really know. He was too outspoken. So why don't they just kill him off and that'll be the end of it? Instead, they used the brand. Now they have Dave Chappelle, the brand. So that's I think it's one of my first awareness of this whole clone thing. Might be before that, I don't remember. But Dave Chappelle's a big one. Dave Chappelle, man, he was awesome in the past, man. I mean, he was truth bombs left and right. And it was cool about it, too. He had history and all kinds of stuff. He was like a professor of comedy, and it was so much more than that. And now he's what he is today. Talk about a shadow of his past. Not even funny. Maybe, I don't know. I can't listen to him. I can't listen to it. So now we got, obviously we have other clones. I'm going to so we got Jim Carrey now that's kind of scary. And he's been going through a lot of changes, and I guess and he's also outspoken. So is that why they switched? I'm not sure why they switched him out, but the way people are saying it looks like a clone now. Not that it wasn't. If he was a clone before, it looked more like him, not anymore. And Oprah looks like a whole different person. She lost a lot of weight, but still, it's almost like it's like a person that looks like that says they're Oprah, but it's not. Yeah, it's very. And there's other public figures too that have had weight loss. They look different. I'm not gonna go into all that. I don't give them any attention. But going to the political arena, we're going to Biden. That was 4 years, and I call that a disclosure. I mean, God, what the fuck? And I had a premonition a long time ago that he was, and that was us, So when I started doing this is how I got attention too, which is kind of sad, because that's all people care about, because, spirituality is a joke, basically. Modern spirituality, the mainstream spirituality is pretty much a joke, but, whatever, it's just entertainment. It's such a joke. It's just, I ain't gonna miss it if I never be a part of it again. Anyway, I have my 2 cents while I'm still here. I'm gonna keep talking as long as I need to talk. I can't do this forever, but it's gonna go on for a while. Yeah, it can't go on forever, but it's so, no thanks. It's just, it's G.I. Joe and just nonsense these days. But of course, what I'm talking about is kind of out there too, right? But we're going deeper. We're just, but Biden, I didn't think anything of this either. It's another thing I'm picking up on. I put it out there. I didn't care right after I did it. But I remember getting a download about Biden being a clone, and I don't get downloads of this stuff. And his, he got switched out at night or something like that. When they're sleeping, and this is so they get switched out somehow. And I'm jumping around a bit. His first wife died of a car accident early in his career. My feeling is that's when it happened. They had to do some kind of sacrifice. Some of these celebrities have a death, in there, and there's a switch. Like they sell out. Somebody dies for whatever a new timeline. Well, especially if he has a wife and she sees he's different, maybe she didn't go along with the plan. We'll never know. So, okay, so you get switched out. What does that mean? Some kind of deep state. I can't prove anything, obviously, but like the fourth dimension, or another version of Earth. Talked about this in the past. That's a little bit more highly advanced than ours, is what I'm getting. I don't know, can't prove any. All these other shitheads out there that said they can prove everything, can't prove jack shit, because they're all garbage. Yeah, spirituality is just nasty. And this is how we got attention, by talking about this. And that's all they care about. Because they're a bunch of cartoons. When it comes down to it, it's modern spirituality. It's just a bunch of sell out, just gross. Yeah, people just eat it up because it's a sad world. Yeah, it's like give us the entertainment, fuel us, and then we just throw you out because they're a joke. They're just a hollow pile of shit, basically. Not to mention names. Yeah, it's like a spiritual garbage factory out there. Yeah, it's trash. Modern spirituality is just disgusting. But anyway, because it's not modern spirituality, it's just garbage, basically. But anyway, aside of that, yeah, I'm really disgusted by it. Anyway, obviously can't prove it, but they had it infringe like another version of Earth. Like the statue would be like a different color. It had like some secret ops reality. I mean, we have backward UFO stuff here, so anything's there's a deep state system going on here, obviously, that we can't quite. Is a cover up. We got Biden for 4 years, and the guy's still alive. For what reason? And what's the brand? A lot of people still love Biden. He's a dead piece of shit. It's like, for those that are more in tune, you can't prove it, but it looks like, what the fuck are we in? So what kind of twisted movie is this? And you go into Obama, and you have Michael, Michelle Obama is a man. They took that video down because it was too fucking. I don't think that's on YouTube anywhere. I haven't checked, but I don't think that's allowed on YouTube. But they're looking at Michelle Obama. It's like, this is a fucking guy. and he always talked about Michael. So that's twisted. I mean, having a president that's married to a guy that has 3 kids. What the fuck is that shit? Yeah, just cause, and even when Biden was in, they said the Oval Office looked like maybe like a movie set or something like that. So things are just not adding up. But then you hear about I imagine some people probably on X. I'm not sure where it's been heard, but probably it was X that where we hear about Hillary Clinton being prosecuted, jailed, maybe killed, whatever. Same thing with Bill Clinton. Probably the same thing with Obama. I think it's on X or Twitter, so I think so. And when they say that shit, it sounds very real, but they're alive here. Are they the clones here? I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, are these people even alive anymore? They might not be. So, and we have their clones now. Bill Clinton's alive for whatever reason. Well, it's the brand. And is this too true? Is this too real for people to handle? It's pretty out there. And my channel is buried anyway, so that's why I won't show their pictures and all that, because they might say I'm harassing them or some shit. It's like, seriously? Yeah, they've done that before. So it's like, whatever, man. Who knows? Yeah, YouTube's everything here is just crap. What a dumpster. But people can't handle anything either. They think they can. You sure about that? Maybe they're just better off watching cooking shows and watching dirty soap operas, raunchy trashy soap operas. I mean, that's all that. Maybe that's it. That's all those people can handle. Not everyone. I mean, there are some that see things further. The numbers are not that high, but yeah, it's like some kind of tribunal. Yeah, we can't prove anything, but there are stories about Hillary Clinton. I haven't looked at them in a long time. Hillary Clinton went to jail and shot or whatever on Guantanamo Bay, I think it was somewhere. I remember hearing about this a long time ago. I think Clinton was the same way. Even Obama, George W. Bush, I would assume, all of them. So, is any of them real? Yeah, George W. Bush looks, and he's older, but still looks. He doesn't look like he's him anymore. To go into further, like Ellen DeGeneres, obviously a lot more. Ellen DeGeneres doesn't seem like that's her anymore. I tapped into it today. It doesn't feel like that's her anymore. It's, she was pretty nasty to everybody in the past, and that's a kind of a weird one too. Why are you this big of a piece of shit? So it's kind of, manipulative powers, whatever it is, and it gets leaked out, and then she zaps out somehow. Who knows? We'll never really know the full story. I think even Oprah's always has some kind of conspiracy around her too. It's Oprah. So she says she can help, but there's another side to her, and so on. So yeah, and yeah, I mean, just show her walking around, but yeah, it doesn't feel like it's the same. I feel like it looks like a different person. Same thing with Carrey, and even like with Obama or Obama's. That's a pretty well made. That's a pretty decent clone. It looks like I'm just older, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that's. It may have like fractal versions of him still there, pieces of him still. That doesn't mean that's them at all. Maybe he's just an easier one to clone. And it said his DNA goes back to Egyptians and all that, which I wouldn't be surprised. So yeah, it does. It's some kind of ritual. Yeah, it's charisma, ritual. Yeah, the whole thing is just no different than Biden. But with Biden, I think it's just. I think I mentioned this before. It's kind of like a middle finger to. Yeah, I think I even did a channeling on that. It's like a middle finger to society. And people get offended to that, but it's like it feels like, fuck you. We run this place, right? But it really does feel that way. It feels like it just really just on everybody. So we have that. Biden is a queer indication of cloning for sure. And they're keeping that piece of shit alive for whatever fucking reason. Well, I say the brand, but still. Let the damn thing die. But I guess they have the technology, and he looks like he's dead garbage. So, yeah. So anyway, yeah, it's just a game on society. Are we ever going to see the trials and tribulations? No. This whole thing in Iran could be all kinds of other things. Yeah, it can. Yeah, I'm not going to go into all that. Just screw it. Yeah, everyone's connected to an alternative version of it. Can't really prove it, and so on. But this cloning thing is, even Mr. Beast, I feel like even he's gotten older, and it does look different. I feel like he's been cloned too. Maybe it's just they have different versions of a clone that's not. I haven't really tapped much into this, but there's like different technologies with a clone. Like some make it obvious, or they're fresh out of the oven. Not that society cares anyway. Yeah, I feel Mr. Beast has been cloned too, which makes a lot of sense. Yeah, well, they sell out. You want to be popular, and now he's like the biggest YouTuber out there, giving away money and just playing with, messing with people's minds and all that, some garbage and everything. They just took the Mr. Beast brand. Now they can control it. It's almost like Warner Brothers being bought, It's like the elites buy, which makes sense. They buy people, which makes sense. And they can do whatever they want with them and screw with society. There's no way in hell we can know about that here in the physical. We don't have any evidence. You can tap into it, but you can't prove anything. So, and I don't think a lot of these other spiritual channels say that. They just throw it. Well, they're doing entertainment stuff all the time anyway, because they're pieces of shit. Because it's not real spirituality. It's just garbage, basically. And just they're gonna go swim with dolphins and everything. It's just trash, basically. It's all phonies anyway. Whatever. It's all confusion. But it's kind of just very low level. It's not really. It's just very disgusting, actually. But anyway. I think there's other clones out. Justin Bieber comes to mind. I imagine there's dozens. Britney Spears is a weird one. Well, yeah, she's been. I mean, they might have given up on her. I haven't tried to say anything. Jeez. They might not clone her anymore. But the brainwashing, MK Ultra, and all that is still there. There's some version of her. I mean, because the clones are normally cool. They're not psychos. So I think that's her somewhere. Because they're all fucking crazy. I mean, she's crazy. Most of the clones are pretty, whatever, down to earth, I guess, if you want to call it that. But she's a nutjet. She's a nutcase. So, and it feels like that is her, which has to do with her karma and everything, selling herself out. So, yeah. I mean, there's wars out there where, like someone like Britney Spears can lose and they just take her energy somehow. But like Obama and all of them, and I feel like Obama's been growing somewhere in a lab. Isn't that nice? Yeah. Biden was early cloning technology they were testing out, so I get Lindsey Graham too. I don't know anything about Lindsey Graham. It's another clone. Yeah, is half of Congress a clone? Probably. No way to know, but I don't know. That might be a stretch. So yeah, it's well, even like JFK. Well, there is the White House. They are working, and we have JFK Jr., which would have been a great clone if they. But maybe like the White Hats took him out. Possibly is what I'm getting. So they can't clone him. They kill him. So they can't. I mean, maybe he's alive somewhere or whatever, but they can't use him as a part of these operations. Because if they kill him off, I guess I just can't do it. I mean, maybe they do it behind the scenes. I don't know, but they can't do it in the public eye because JFK Jr. would be fucking horrible if he went to the dark side. Oh, jeez, will not be good. I guess that's what I get from that. So, yeah, we're in a nothing makes any sense. Of course, but yeah, it's like another reality that's messing around. Especially I would say Jim Carrey. It's just on the surface level. That's just celebrities. Those are the ones that are, use them their names to get attention. Obviously, there's a lot more that's out there. But like I said, the Biden one is pretty obvious. And yeah, it's screed to everybody. Something else. And of course, you channel it and all that. There's only so much the aliens can go into. There's this obviously spiritual warfare going on. I mean, we're not seeing any of these people go to trial as they deserve. Like Obama going to trial. Obama actually has more karma than George W. Bush, if that makes any sense, because they had abuse of power during his time. Sandy Hook is a weird one. Like some kind of black ops thing going on there. Like I say, I gotta be careful. But something's going on with that. Yeah, they said something about the conspiracy about, at least they said that was kind of like a message to Obama to do what we say, or things are not going to go well for you, So, and Obama had a lot of issues with his Secret Service in the past. So, whatever. And his chef just died about a year ago or something like that, maybe 2 years ago now, mysteriously. So, yeah, maybe I saw Michael in the shower. What the and Obama and Michael. What's up with that shit? So, it's yeah, it's pretty twisted, but is it, you tap into this stuff, you can't prove it, but it's pretty wild. Underground bases is another one. You hear about all these underground cities and all that. There's no damn proof, really, not really. But in another reality, wherever this deep state realm is, most likely they're all real, alive and well, and the population has no idea of it or so on. But it's more real than our reality. It's hard, like I said, it's hard to describe. You can't prove nothing. I keep saying that because you can't. Just go by what you see on the surface level. And just go by what you feel and how twisted things really are here. So, yeah, it's, because I think there'd be trials. I mean, even like the stories about, I think they had some of the rumors. It was on like 4chan or somewhere, or Anonymous was saying that, like, Hillary Clinton was arrested and then tried, and and then they took her out too, I think. So if I remember right, so executed. So feels like her daughter's in on it too. I sold her out. That's what I get from that. See, we can't prove this shit, but I mean, it sounds out there, but not real. And people, now society is just not ready for it. Society just can't handle the truth. And obviously, you can't prove it. But then again, you see Jim Carrey and all them, Oprah. It's just weirdness. Justin Bieber feels like there's something there going on. So, we're in a bizarre. You have to be careful how far you're going to this stuff. But I mean, I think we're allowed to speak about some of it, but how far? I mean, it doesn't mean people probably are tapping deeply into it. It doesn't mean that they're wrong. You just can't prove it. So when you put it out there, there's just no fucking way to know. So anyway, I'm just going on the surface level of this, and I'll try to go a little bit deeper. I don't want to go too deep on it. I'll go to some different lengths in the future. I'm going to continue with this subject matter for a while, see how it goes. So, all right, we'll let it go. All right, blessings.